Hey, what's up, visionaries? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Anton, and hopefully all of you guys are having a fantastic day because we are near the end of our ALANIS Morissette Jagged Little Pill full album reaction, and this is an excerpt from that full album reaction. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely consider checking out the link to get the whole thing down below. And before we get into it, I do want to say to all of you, if you have any suggestions for any artists you want to see come back on the channel, definitely leave them in the Discord. I created a channel there called Returning Artists for you guys, so definitely leave them in there, link down below. Also want to give a big shout out to the supporter squad on the Patreon. Thank you guys. Yeah, really appreciate it. And if anybody wants to help out and support the channel, link down below. So yeah, definitely consider checking out and joining the supporter squad on the Patreon. Links to everything are down below. And that's it. So let's get into ALANIS Morissette, Ironic. Canada. Looks like home. Oh, I missed that.
An old man turned 98. He won the lottery and died the next day. It's a black fly in your Chardonnay. It's a death row pardon, 2 minutes too late. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain.
Oh, I know this song too.
It's a free ride when you've already paid. It's the good advice.
I love this
that
song,
you
man.
just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? Used to play it safe, was afraid to fly. He packed his suitcase, kissed his kids goodbye. He waited his whole damn life to take that flight. And as the plane crashed down, he thought, well, isn't this nice? And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride when you've already paid. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? Life is fun, worried, sneaking up on you when you think everything's okay and
Her voice is so interesting.
and life is a funny way. Nobody has when you think everything's gone wrong and everything blows up in your face. The traffic jam when you're already late. A no smoking sign on your cigarette break. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's meeting the man of my dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? A little too ironic. And yeah, I really do think it's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride and you've already paid. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? And your life is a funny word sneaking up on you. Life is a funny way of helping you out. Helping you out.
She's out of gas. Man, I love Alanis Morissette. It's something I realized with this song is, for this whole record I've been talking about how wise she is, how she's this enlightened person who doesn't know it. And she's just so self-aware. I think that's the thing. She's so self-aware of her insecurities, of all our insecurities. Like, that's the cool thing, is she's someone who can speak for all of us in a way that makes sense, in a way that's pure, that's honest. Like, it's interesting when she describes people and human nature and our idiosyncrasies and her weird habits and sometimes the pointlessness of our lives and our fears and our things that hold us back and all these things. Like, it feels very genuine. And more than genuine, it's like so bang on. Like, it's she's like a comedian. Like, you know how when you listen to a comedian speak and they make you laugh really hard because they just said the thing that has always been on the tip of your mind, the thing you've always half-assed, but you never fully saw the picture of how ridiculous it is. Like pointing fun at all of our dumb social hierarchies, or the way we live our lives, or 9-to-5 jobs, or the hamster wheel we're all living in our lives, and all these things. Like, she's like that with music. She's like she's a jester. You know, she is that kind of archetype in some sense. She's there to show us all our shadows, to show us all the parts of ourselves that we don't want to look at, the parts of society that we take for granted, you know, the parts of ourselves that we take for granted. You know, that's what's so powerful about Alanis Morissette, is this entire record, no wonder, was so big, because it was like a cultural revelation of the 90s. Like this is like the quintessential 90s record, because the 90s was all about introspection. It was all about self-analysis. It was all about pain, trauma, wounds, society, you know, calling out society, calling out the collapse of everything, you know, jadedness, the beginning of, you know, what we're kind of experiencing right now, disillusionment. You know, Alanis Morissette wrote this record that somehow touched on every single part of that. You know, just such a self-aware record, with her at the center, her insecurities at the center, never pointing the finger purely at anybody else other than herself. You know, if she ever makes a statement about humanity, she always takes ownership of how it impacts her and her life. And I think that's something that's so admirable about Alanis Morissette, is just her authenticity, how openly and honest she's willing to be, how vulnerable she's willing to be. And it's so inspirational to me, even. Like, I feel like she's like a best friend already. I just feel like she's someone I know so well. Yeah, and just like, I love this song too, because the ups and the downs, which again is something, you know, Alanis Morissette's like, it's almost like her music is like the embodiment of like bipolar disorder in a sense. Like, it's so free. And I don't mean like actually bipolar disorder, but kind of when you think of bipolar, like up and down and all over the place. That's kind of the vibe I get from her, is that her music is like, that chorus, the first time it came out, it just came out of nowhere, just boom, it exploded from that kind of really human verse of that, you know, contemplation with an acoustic guitar, and then it just launches into the chorus, and it's just so free and open. And just, that's something that Alanis is she's free and open in a way that I am very, again, you know, I find very admirable that people can be so open and expressive. You know what I mean? I look up to that. That's something I value highly in human beings, which is why I'm always pushing myself to be more open, be more vulnerable, because I value it so much in people. It's the only time I ever feel truly alive, is when I'm connecting with my own vulnerabilities, my own deep wounds, or somebody else's. That's when I feel like, oh, this is the thing that we hide 99% of the time. Thanks for sharing yours, you know, because it makes it a bit easier for me to share mine. And hopefully in turn it makes it a bit easier for someone else to share theirs, and on and on and on and on and on and on. And, you know, in a funny little way, that's how you change the world. Just one little person at a time, you know, positivity virus, right? That just spreads. You can't contain it. You see people that are like that, and you just go, wow, I didn't know the human expression could incorporate that. I didn't know that was allowed. I didn't know I was allowed to be like that. There's so many times in my life I didn't think I was allowed. I didn't know I was allowed to be that facet of humanity, that facet of my own nature. Oh wow, I can be that part of myself that I've, you know, shoved away in the back of my mind because I didn't think it was socially acceptable. Or if I ever did that, you know, people would leave me, or I'd be unlovable because I showed that part of humanity that's just a bit too human. It's a bit too honest. You know, I just can't wait till we get into a world where we can just, where, you know, you can just be free and open. And it's normal. You know what I mean? And like, it would be nice to get to a point where we look back at now and we go, remember that time, like in history, where we were just always hiding things, where we were just never open with each other, when we were all living lies, when we were all asked how we're doing and we all say we're doing good, but we're really doing terrible. And it's like, remember when we held each other in psychic straitjackets, and we never really knew people, and in relationships we never really loved, we never really shared fully because we were afraid of being hurt. Remember those times? Because we're just perfectly imperfect now. Again, I don't believe in utopia, but, you know, it's not that hard for people, for all of us, to get to a point where we're just accepting of all of our imperfections. I think that is that will be a beautiful day. You know, that hopefully my children experience, hopefully I experience. You know, I'd love that in my lifetime. I don't know if it'll happen in my lifetime, and it doesn't necessarily need to, but yeah, I hope our species gets to that point. Because it's not impossible. If you can do it, everybody can do it. Or at least if you can do it, a majority of people can do it. That's what I always say. It's like, oh, people are like, oh, what about human nature? What about this? What about that? It's like, if you can do it, a majority of people can do it. That's it. So many people, like, even like, you know, we all know people, I know people in my life where every time they want to explain something, they use examples of other people. They're like, oh, you know what, like, this is why people suck, or this is, you know, blah blah blah. Like, I met my son's girlfriend, or why did I just say that? My friend's son's girlfriend or something. And like, oh, you know, she's crazy, and because she's crazy, society's crazy. It's like, no. Like, look at yourself. You're the only person you know, right? And then, you know me pretty well. So just look at us too. I think I can do that, and I think you can do that. So I think we can do that. You know? That's all it takes. If you want to know the future of mankind, look at yourself. Can you live as if the thing you want is possible? Can you be like that? Can you be a bit better tomorrow than you were today? Can you be a bit better today than you were yesterday? If you can, our species has hope. Period. That's it. If you can be better today than you were yesterday, we all have hope. Your children have hope. So it's like, that's it. This is very, very simple. When you stop creating projections of why things are impossible, when you stop looking at people that you don't even intimately know as examples of why you can't have the things you want in life, it's like, focus on people that are worth focusing on. Focus on people that have broken the mold, that have done something incredible. Who are they? Why did they do that? Who is Alanis Morissette? How did she grow up? How are you similar to her? How are you different? Yeah, I think that I you know, there's a saying, we all overestimate what we can do in a year, and we underestimate what we can do in 5. I think about that a lot. I think about, you know, my expectations for myself, and I have way too many expectations in the short term but in the long term, I don't see how just small gains can change. You know, if only I didn't have such wild expectations a year ago when starting this thing. If only I just looked more at the long term, I'd be like, wow, you know, you've got pretty far in a year. You know what I mean? You know, not as far as I want sometimes, because I'm a perfectionist. Or I don't even want to say that. I don't want to condemn myself to an identity. But in the past, I've had a streak of perfectionism, which I'm open to changing and evolving through. But so far, I definitely have acted out some of those behaviors. And yeah, I'm learning how to let go. But anyway, great record so far. This is probably my favorite song on the record. What about you guys? Let me know down below. If you're on the Discord, if you're listening to this full album reaction, leave it in the Discord channel called ALANIS MORISSETTE. Let me know your thoughts on the record and this song, and your top 3, everything. If you're on YouTube, let me know down below. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, definitely give it a thumbs up, a like. And if you want to help out the YouTube algorithm, definitely give a comment, silly, deep, whatever you want. You can even say sup or hi. And if you're enjoying the content, definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. If you are looking to support the channel, definitely consider checking out the supporter squad down below. And that's it. Also link down below to the full album reaction of ALANIS MORISSETTE's Jagged Little Pill. And that's it. So I'll see all of you guys again tomorrow. I love you. Peace.